Alright, so this morning we're going to be going over the Sloan Ebv-500-A automatic sensor. This is the most common one that we see inside of our locations, and the most common problem that we seem to have with them is that button right there getting stuck like that. That is where it's pushing in on the actuator there, where you can actually get it to come back out by pushing the actuator back in. Right here, get your Allen key, unscrew this, and you can get access to the battery pack. A lot of the times you just need to replace the battery to get your sensor to reset there for you. But for the issue of the button sticking, once you get the battery pack out, you'll have two spots here, which I already took the other one out, but you'll have two Phillips head screws here. You remove both of those, set them to the side, and then the whole piece comes out. And then your actuator actually is staying inside of the unit itself, and then the gasket here is also removable. So if you need to replace that, you can get those by themselves if needed. Set those to the side. One thing you can check real quick, if you look on the inside there for the actuator, there is a spring. You want to make sure that the spring is set in there properly so that your issue is not right there. And then it just simply sits in there and presses in and out. Super easy. Now here for these, you have your arm here that engages for your manual override here. This one is a little bit of a problematic one, but that's exactly why we have it, because as you can see, it will get stuck in there. But the latches are simply, they just pop out, and you pop them right back in into each of the plastic grooves there. Make sure the spring here is attached, and then that's what pushes it back and forth. And you can get them to reset. When you have them pressed all the way in, this bar here that is actually attached to the override button, you can see it pushes through underneath in there. If you have something small like the screw itself and it's stuck, you can get in there and pop it back out manually that way. And then that's how you can fix majority of the time the issues with the button themselves, of getting lodged in there. Sometimes you got to check these plastic pieces right here in the connections, because like I said, this is the most common issue of them getting stuck, is right there with that action piece. The next thing really with these is once you have them all set and put back together, with a lot of these Sloans, once you have it all back together, if you hold down this manual override button for I believe it's 30 seconds, it is supposed to go into a sensor reset essentially, where it's going to rescan the entire environment around it so that it can recalibrate the sensor for if you're using a stall or a urinal. If you're using it in a stall, you would want to get it to start the recalibrating mode, and then you want to step out of the stall and close the door behind you. And it takes about a minute for it to fully recalibrate, but it's going to be able to scan that whole area inside of of that stall, so now when anybody goes in there, it's gonna be able to pick them up and know that somebody's in that stall using it. For a urinal, you wanna stand probably about 2 to 3 feet back when it's calibrating, so that it can pick up, you know, when somebody actually steps up to the urinal. You don't want to stand too far back where it calibrates the whole room, because then it will just pick up people who are walking into the bathroom and walking past the urinal, and then causing, you know, extra flushes for no reason, and that's how we get those high water usage work orders, where we have to go out and make sure they don't have a leak. But these are really simple, easy to use, easy to operate, you know, super easy. But we do see them a lot. You always want to take it apart in the manner I just did whenever you want to work on them or anything like that. Really show that it's broken or something's wrong with it if we're looking at replacing it. Otherwise, it's usually a swap out of the batteries on that side. Any questions about these? Everybody got a good understanding? All right, that's the training today. Thank you.